Hey everybody, welcome in to Sports Live in the 215. I am your host Connor Okuda, here to discuss the Philadelphia Phillies 36-16 start to the 2024 season. And yes, you heard that correctly. Your Philadelphia Phillies are 36-16. I'm gonna first discuss how we got here, and then we'll get into where they go. We'll get into where they go from here. All right, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Just had to close a pop-up on my computer. Now, the Phillies opened the season 2-3, and then they ended April on a on a 17 and 9 stretch, and then as of yesterday they became they became they became 16-4. So that that's a it's just been a really a really incredible run for here fighting Phils. And I think what this comes down to is everybody on the team kind of being the MVP of their role, whether that's Bryce Harper being Bryce Harper, or Kyle Schwarber being the tremendous leadoff hitter that he is. I hear a bunch of baseball purists crying in the background, but his batting average is .223. Shut up. What he provides in terms of getting on base and home runs and RBIs is more than enough to justify his low batting average. I don't know why we're having this same tired argument when we know what kind of player Kyle Schwarber can be, and he's proving it to you each night, and it's really special to watch. So my piece of advice to every Philadelphia Phillies fan in and around the Delaware Valley, and even into Maryland and all over the world, is just enjoy this baseball team and stop nitpicking the things that really, in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter. Transitioning off of that point, on May 3rd, Trey Turner got hurt against the San Francisco Giants, and in his place, Edmundo Sosa has done a tremendous job hitting .338, and it's been more than enough to counteract the absence of Trey Turner. And I believe the Phillies are gonna have some questions once Trey Turner gets back. Like, what do you do at the shortstop position? Because with how good Sosa's playing, I believe you're gonna have to find matchups for him to be a part of, because having a guy hitting 338 on your bench, while that's a nice asset, like you don't want to waste Eddie Sosa's hot start. You definitely want to reward the guy for his really solid start to the season. Now, can a bench player like an Edmundo Sosa get overexposed? Absolutely. But I just think that Rob Thompson, Jason Camilli, and the rest of that coaching staff, Bobby Dickerson, the infield coach, and Jason Camilli, the hitting coach, along with Rob Thompson, the manager, need to find matchups for Edmundo Sosa to be a part of. Maybe once Turner gets back, if he needs a day off or something, like you have to reward that guy for his start to the year. That good deed can't go unpunished, as people say. Also, something else I wanted to get into is this starting staff. The Phillies have gone 7 innings for I want to say I heard on WIP it was something like 31 out of their first 36 and 16, 31 out of their first hold on, let me do some math real quick. 36, 5, and then 16. Like 50, 51 or 52 games, my fault. And that's just really really impressive out of this starting staff. Zach Wheeler's been Zach Wheeler. Aaron Nola has been the steady Eddie that the Phillies have relied on for the past decade. I really can't believe that guy has been in the major leagues for 9 or 10 years at this point. Man, it's crazy, because I remember watching him when he first got called up, and it was when the Phillies were deep into their rebuild, and it really felt like there was no end in sight, and Nola was one of their only bright spots. So it's really incredible to see a guy from the rebuild years kind of hang on as long as he did. And not just hang on, but hang on and excel as long as he has. And it's really incredible to watch. And speaking of people who are incredible to watch, Jose Alvarado. He's 9 for 9 in save opportunities. Has a 1.2 ERA. He's just been absolutely dominant, closing down every 9th inning that he's been asked to shut down. He's just been as advertised for this Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. Jeff Hoffman, of course, is another guy who was incredibly solid. Um, I think the Phillies could have 4 or 5 All-Stars this year, and for those that don't know, the most any major league roster can the most All-Stars any major league roster can have is 5 All-Stars in 1 year. So for the Phillies to have 5 All-Stars is really impressive, especially considering the fact that 10 years ago, 10 years ago, the Phillies only got 1 All-Star because every major league team is designated to get 1 All-Star. So they needed, it was almost like a pity All-Star selection. Not that the players didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that, but it wasn't as those Phillies players that had the obligatory All-Star selection. It wasn't as, what am I trying to say? It wasn't as looked upon as elite as some of the other seasons at that time. Guys like Odubel Herrera, I think Michael Franco was in there. Who else? Pat Neshek. Yeah, just these obscure names that you don't really think of. So it's really it's exciting to be in a spot where you can have 5 All-Stars on one team, and realistically there's a bunch more guys on this Phillies team who are incredibly deserving of All-Star selections, but unfortunately, I believe they'll just miss the cut. I mean, guys like the aforementioned Edmundo Sosa, um, maybe maybe guys like Kirkering. Who else? I'm trying to think. Maybe guys like JT Realmuto, um, and guys like JT Realmuto, and I forget who else. But someone who's been quietly taking the league by storm is Ranger Suarez. He has a 1.37 ERA and is 9-0. He's the first Philly starter to go 9-0 in his first 10 games with a sub-2 ERA since, like, I want to say it was 1910 when Grover Cleveland Alexander did it for the Phillies. So that's quite elite company for Senor Suarez. But in all seriousness, Ranger should have a new nickname instead of Mr. Cool, which I call him. He really should be considered the lieutenant. He's been he's come up large, to use a Mark Zumoff saying, for the Phillies this season. He's left a bunch of hitters feeling rejected. He's been absolutely masterful. Words really can't describe how good that guy has been. And I feel like that goes for everybody, or most of the guys on this Philadelphia Phillies team. They've been not just as advertised, but maybe even above as advertised. They've not only reached expectations, they've exceeded every expectation through the first 52 or 53 games. It's been really, really incredible to watch. And I for one am so excited for the next like 7 months of baseball, hopefully. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are too. I really appreciate you guys listening to this. Go Phillies.